The research vessel Odyssey drifted silently through the vast expanse of the Andromeda galaxy. Its mission: to uncover ancient relics and artifacts that could shed light on the galaxy's history. Dr. Emily Carter, a renowned archaeologist, led the team of scientists aboard the ship. For months, they had scoured countless star systems with little to show for their efforts. However, everything changed when they stumbled upon a desolate planet shrouded in mystery. As the Odyssey descended through the planet's thick atmosphere, the crew's anticipation grew. The sensors had detected an anomalous energy signature, unlike anything they had seen before. Upon landing, they discovered a massive underground chamber, its walls adorned with intricate carvings and glowing symbols. "This is it," Emily whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. "This could be the breakthrough we've been searching for." The team carefully excavated the site, revealing a colossal artifact at the chamber's center. It pulsed with a faint, eerie light, as if it were alive. Emily and her team began to decipher the carvings, piecing together the story of an ancient civilization that had faced an unimaginable threat. Hours turned into days as they worked tirelessly. Finally, Emily cracked the code. The artifact contained a message, a warning from a civilization that had long since vanished. It spoke of an ancient fear that transcended time and space: humanity. The message described humans as both creators and destroyers, capable of immense good and unspeakable evil. "We need to get this back to Earth," Emily said, her voice filled with urgency. "The implications are staggering." Unbeknownst to them, their discovery had triggered a beacon. Deep in the heart of the nebula, alien eyes watched their every move. The Odyssey had barely left the planet's surface when they encountered the Thians. Sleek, menacing ships materialized around them, weapons trained and ready. Captain Nathan Reynolds, a seasoned officer with a knack for diplomacy, took charge of the situation. "Identify yourselves," a voice crackled over the comms. It was cold and authoritative. "This is Captain Nathan Reynolds of the Earth vessel Odyssey," Nathan replied calmly. "We come in peace." The Thian commander, a towering figure with piercing eyes, appeared on the view screen. His name was General Korak. He studied the humans with a mix of curiosity and suspicion. "We have been monitoring your activities," Korak said. "You have uncovered an artifact of great importance. It is a relic of the ancient alliance that once spanned the galaxy." Emily stepped forward, her academic curiosity overcoming her fear. "General Korak, we mean no harm. We seek to understand the history and warnings left by this artifact." Korak's expression softened slightly. "Very well, you will accompany us to our homeworld. The Council of Elders will decide your fate." The Odyssey followed the Thian fleet through the nebula, a journey filled with tension and uncertainty. The crew exchanged nervous glances, knowing they were at the mercy of these powerful beings. As they approached the Thian homeworld, an awe-inspiring sight greeted them. The planet was a technological marvel, with towering spires and sprawling cities that glowed with an ethereal light. The Odyssey docked at a massive spaceport, and the crew was escorted to the council chamber. The Council of Elders was an imposing assembly, composed of the wisest and most experienced Thians. Each elder bore the weight of countless centuries of knowledge and responsibility. At the center sat Elder Zorath, a venerable figure with a gaze that seemed to pierce through time itself. "You stand before the Council of Elders," Zorath intoned. "Speak, and let us hear your purpose." Captain Reynolds stepped forward, flanked by Emily and a few key members of the crew. "We come seeking knowledge and understanding. The artifact we discovered speaks of an ancient alliance and a great fear of humanity. We wish to learn more about this history and the threat it foretells." The elders exchanged glances, their expressions unreadable. Finally, Elder Zorath spoke. "Long ago, our galaxy was united by an alliance of diverse civilizations. Together, we faced a terrible enemy known as the Void. Humanity played a pivotal role in that conflict, wielding great power and ingenuity. However, your methods were extreme." Emily's curiosity burned brighter than ever. "What happened to humanity after the war with the Void?" Zorath sighed, a deep and mournful sound. "Your ancestors were exiled. Their actions, while effective, were deemed too dangerous. The fear of humans, with their potential for both creation and destruction, has lingered ever since. As the gravity of the situation sank in, Emily realized the artifact was more than just a relic. It was a key to understanding their place in the galaxy. The warnings it contained could help prevent history from repeating itself. "We must act quickly," Zorath continued. "The void is returning, and its hunger for destruction is insatiable. We must form a new alliance, stronger and more unified than before. Will you stand with us?" Captain Reynolds and Emily exchanged determined looks. "We will," Nathan replied. "For the sake of all civilizations, we will fight together." And so the seeds of a new alliance were sown, with humanity once again at the forefront of a battle that would determine the fate of the galaxy. The archives of the Threxian homeworld were vast and filled with records dating back millennia. Emily, accompanied by Threxian historians, delved into the ancient texts and holographic displays, seeking any information about humanity's role in the past conflict with the void. The deeper she dug, the more she realized how integral humanity had been to the Alliance's victory, and how their methods had led to their eventual exile. One particular hologram caught her attention. It depicted a battle scene where human soldiers, equipped with advanced exoskeletons and energy weapons, fought with a ferocity unmatched by their allies. The void's monstrous forms fell before them, but so did entire planets, scorched by humanity's relentless drive to eradicate the threat. They called it the Scorched Earth Doctrine, Threxian historian Kelmar explained. Your ancestors believed that leaving no trace of the void, even at the cost of innocent lives, was the only way to ensure victory. Emily's heart sank. No wonder they were exiled. But why did they leave behind these artifacts? Kelmar nodded. As a warning and perhaps a guide. The message you found speaks not only of fear but of hope, a hope that humanity could learn from its past and become a force for unity rather than destruction. As Emily pondered these revelations, a sudden alert echoed through the archives. A Threxian soldier rushed in breathless. "Dr. Carter, we need you on the bridge. We've picked up a distress signal from one of our outer colonies." The bridge of the Odyssey was abuzz with activity. Screens displayed the distress signal, a garbled message from the Ilarian colony on Zanara. The message was clear enough to convey desperation but cut off abruptly, leaving its fate unknown. Captain Nathan Reynolds quickly convened a meeting with the Alliance leaders. The Ilarians, a race of telepathic empaths, had been hesitant to join the Alliance fully, but now faced a dire threat. "We can't afford to lose the Ilarians," Nathan said. "Their abilities could be crucial in our fight against the void." General Korak nodded. "Agreed. Their insight and strategic telepathy can turn the tide in our favor. We must assist them immediately." The Alliance fleet, now bolstered by Threxian and Valkyrie ships, jumped to hyperspace, heading for Zanara. As they approached, they found the colony under siege by void forces. The scene was chaotic, with Ilarian defense ships struggling to hold off the relentless enemy. "All ships engage at will," Nathan commanded. "Protect the colony at all costs." The ensuing battle was fierce. Void ships, dark and twisted, clashed with the sleek, efficient designs of the Alliance fleet. Nathan's tactical brilliance shone as he directed the forces, coordinating attacks that exploited the void's weaknesses. On the surface, Emily and a ground team, including elite Threxian warriors and Valkyrie engineers, landed to assist the Ilarian defenders. The sight of the void's monstrosities up close was harrowing, but the Alliance's combined might began to turn the tide. The void forces were relentless, but the Alliance held their ground. Emily and her team fought through the chaos, aiming to reach the colony's central command. The Ilarians, though telepathically strong, were physically vulnerable, and their command center was at risk of being overrun. As they approached, a void behemoth emerged, a towering creature of dark energy and malice. It cut a swath of destruction through the Ilarian defenders, making its way toward the command center. "Fall back!" Emily shouted, but the Ilarian leader Leora stood firm. "We cannot retreat. Our people depend on us," Leora said, her voice calm despite the terror around her. Emily nodded, her resolve hardening. "Then we fight." With a coordinated effort, the Alliance forces attacked the behemoth. Threxian warriors engaged it head-on, their plasma blades cutting into its dark flesh, while Valkyrie engineers set up energy barriers to protect the command center. Emily, wielding a Threxian plasma rifle, joined the fray, her determination driving her forward. The battle raged on, but slowly the behemoth began to weaken. Emily spotted a vulnerability, an exposed core pulsing with dark energy. She signaled to the others, and they focused their fire. With a final devastating blow, the behemoth collapsed, dissolving into a cloud of dark energy. Cheers erupted from the Alliance forces. The immediate threat was over, but the war was just beginning. Leora, her face streaked with sweat and dirt, approached Emily. "Thank you," Leora said. "Your bravery has saved us." Emily nodded. "We fight together now. The void is a threat to us all." As the Alliance regrouped and tended to the wounded, Nathan's voice came over the comms. "All units, report back to the ship. We have much to discuss." The victory at Zanara was a crucial first step, but the Alliance knew the void would not rest. The battle for the galaxy's future had only just begun, and humanity would be at the heart of it. Back aboard the Odyssey, the atmosphere was tense. Despite the recent victory, the Alliance faced internal strife. The battle at Zanara had been hard won, but not without losses. As the leaders of the various species convened, a sense of unease permeated the room. Captain Nathan Reynolds stood at the center of the war room, flanked by Emily, General Korak, and other key figures. "We need to address the elephant in the room. Our plans were compromised, and the void knew exactly where to hit us." Whispers and accusations flew across the table. The Valkyrie representative, Commander Rena, stood abruptly. "Are you suggesting a traitor among us?" Nathan raised a hand to calm the growing storm. "I'm not suggesting anything without evidence, but the fact remains that the void had information they shouldn't have." Emily, who had been silent until now, spoke up. "We need to investigate this thoroughly. Finger-pointing will only divide us further." As the meeting adjourned, Emily returned to her quarters, her mind racing. She began combing through communications logs and security footage. After hours of searching, a pattern emerged. Subtle, almost unnoticeable anomalies in the data pointed towards a high-ranking official within the Valkyrie contingent. The next day, Emily confronted Commander Rena privately. "I have reason to believe there's a mole within your ranks," she said, her tone careful but firm. Rena's eyes widened in shock, then narrowed in suspicion. "You have proof?" Emily showed her the data, and Rena's expression hardened. "I will handle this personally. Trust must be restored, but know this, Dr. Carter. If you're wrong, it will have severe consequences." That night, under the cover of darkness, Rena led a covert operation to apprehend the suspected traitor. The confrontation was swift and brutal. The traitor, a Valkyrie officer named Yarek, confessed under pressure, revealing that he had been blackmailed by the Void, who threatened his family. Rena reported her findings to the Alliance Council. The revelation was a double-edged sword. The traitor was caught, but the Alliance's trust in the Valkyrie was severely shaken. Nathan addressed the council, his voice resolute. "We must not let this divide us. The Void seeks to sow discord among us. We must stand united, now more than ever." With the traitor exposed, the Alliance's focus shifted back to the war effort. The artifact from the ancient ruins had revealed the location of a hidden armada, a fleet of warships left behind by the ancient Alliance. These ships, if they still functioned, could turn the tide against the Void. The coordinates led to a remote star system, shrouded in cosmic dust and forgotten by time. The Alliance fleet, spearheaded by the Odyssey, ventured into this treacherous territory, navigating through asteroid fields and gravitational anomalies. As they approached the designated coordinates, the ship's sensors picked up faint energy signatures. The ancient armada lay dormant within a massive asteroid, hidden and protected by automated defenses. The Alliance fleet deployed drones and scout ships to map out the defenses and find a way through. Emily, Nathan, and a team of elite soldiers prepared for a ground mission to access the control center of the armada. Equipped with cutting-edge technology and weapons, they boarded a shuttle and made their way to the surface of the asteroid. The landscape was a labyrinth of tunnels and ancient machinery, still humming with residual energy. Automated turrets and security drones guarded the pathways, remnants of a bygone era's advanced technology. The team moved cautiously, disabling defenses and hacking into control panels to gain access deeper into the complex. After hours of navigating the treacherous maze, they reached the control center. The heart of the ancient armada was a vast chamber filled with consoles and holographic displays. Emily approached the main console, her fingers dancing over the controls as she worked to reactivate the ships. The ground rumbled as the dormant ships powered up, their systems coming online one by one. Nathan's voice crackled over the comms. "We need to get back to the fleet. The Void won't sit idly by while we claim these ships." As they made their way back to the shuttle, the asteroid shook violently. Void ships had detected the energy surge and launched an attack. The team fought their way through the corridors, barely making it back to the shuttle, as the battle intensified outside. The Alliance fleet, now bolstered by the ancient armada, engaged the Void in a fierce space battle. The newly activated warships, though old, packed a powerful punch. The tide of the battle began to turn in favor of the Alliance, but the Void's forces were relentless. The Alliance's victory at the ancient armada bolstered their strength and morale, but the war was far from over. The Void's main stronghold, Andromeda Prime, remained a looming threat. Intelligence reports indicated that the Void was amassing a massive fleet there, preparing for a decisive strike. The Alliance leaders convened once more, this time with a clearer sense of purpose and unity. Captain Nathan Reynolds addressed the council. "Our next target is Andromeda Prime. We must strike hard and fast before the Void can launch their assault." General Korak nodded in agreement. "We have the element of surprise and the strength of the ancient armada. But we must be cautious. The Void will be expecting us." The plan was set. The Alliance fleet, now a formidable force, prepared for the assault on Andromeda Prime. As they approached the stronghold, they encountered fierce resistance. Void ships swarmed around them, dark and ominous against the backdrop of the starry void. The battle was intense. The Alliance's strategy focused on breaching the heavily fortified defenses of Andromeda Prime. Nathan, coordinating the fleet's movements, executed daring maneuvers to outflank the enemy. The ancient warships, with their advanced weaponry, played a crucial role in breaking through the Void's lines. On the ground, Emily and a team of soldiers led a strike force to disable the Void's planetary defenses. They infiltrated the stronghold's outer perimeter, fighting through waves of Void soldiers and automated turrets. The air was thick with the smell of burning metal and the sounds of battle. Emily's team reached the main defense control center, a heavily guarded fortress. Using a combination of brute force and cunning tactics, they breached the defenses and planted explosive charges to disable the power generators. The stronghold's defenses flickered and went dark, leaving the Void vulnerable. Back in space, the Alliance fleet pushed forward, capitalizing on the weakened defenses. The Void's ships, now disorganized and scattered, fell one by one under the relentless assault. Nathan's tactical brilliance and the bravery of the Alliance forces led to a hard-won victory. As the dust settled, the Alliance secured Andromeda Prime. The stronghold was a treasure trove of information and resources, vital for the ongoing war effort. Nathan addressed the exhausted but triumphant troops. "We have dealt a significant blow to the Void today, but this is only the beginning. The road ahead is long and perilous, but together we will prevail." The Alliance's victory at Andromeda Prime marked a turning point in the war. With newfound strength and unity, they stood ready to face the Void's next move, determined to protect their galaxy and their future. The victory at Andromeda Prime was a crucial milestone, but the Alliance knew the Void would retaliate with even greater force. The Alliance leaders gathered to strategize their next moves. They needed to capitalize on their recent success while preparing for the inevitable counterattack. Captain Nathan Reynolds stood before the holographic display, outlining the next phase of their campaign. "Our intelligence suggests that the Void's command center is located deep within their territory. If we can infiltrate it and take out their leadership, we could cripple their ability to coordinate their forces." General Korak grunted in agreement. "A bold plan, but it could work. We need to hit them where it hurts." Emily stepped forward, her mind racing with possibilities. We'll need a small elite team to infiltrate the command center. We'll have to rely on stealth and precision. The team was assembled quickly. Emily, Nathan, General Korak, and a handful of elite soldiers from various species in the Alliance. They boarded a sleek, cloaked shuttle and set course for the heart of Void territory. The journey was fraught with danger as they navigated through heavily patrolled space and avoided detection. As they approached the Void's command center, a massive structure built into a moon-sized asteroid, the tension mounted. The shuttle's cloaking device kept them hidden, but they knew any mistake could be fatal. Remember, this mission is about precision, Nathan reminded the team. We get in, take out their leadership, and get out. The shuttle landed undetected on the asteroid's surface. The team disembarked, moving silently through the dark labyrinthine corridors. The air was thick with the oppressive energy of the Void, and every shadow seemed to writhe with malevolence. They reached the command center, a vast chamber filled with Void commanders and their monstrous guards. Emily and Nathan exchanged a glance, and the team moved into position. With a synchronized attack, they struck, taking the Void commanders by surprise. The battle was fierce but swift. The Alliance's elite soldiers fought with unmatched skill and determination, cutting through the Void forces. Emily and Nathan reached the central control console, where the Void's supreme leader, an imposing figure of dark energy, awaited them. "You cannot defeat us," the leader hissed, its voice echoing with malice. "We are eternal." Nathan raised his weapon, his voice steady. "Not today." With a precise shot, he struck the leader's core. The dark energy exploded, sending shockwaves through the command center. The remaining Void forces faltered, their coordination shattered. The team quickly planted explosive charges around the chamber and made their escape. As they boarded the shuttle and flew away, the command center erupted in a massive explosion, sending debris and dark energy into space. The destruction of the Void's command center was a significant blow, but the victory came at a high cost. Key members of the Alliance had fallen, and the toll of the war weighed heavily on everyone. The Alliance fleet regrouped, preparing for the final push against the remnants of the Void forces. Captain Nathan Reynolds knew that the Void would launch a desperate counterattack. They had crippled their leadership, but the remaining Void forces were still dangerous. He gathered the Alliance leaders for one final strategy meeting. "We have one last chance to end this war," Nathan said, his voice resolute. "We need to strike at the heart of their remaining forces. This will be the most dangerous battle yet, but it's our best shot at victory." The Alliance fleet set course for the Void's last stronghold, a fortress deep within a dark nebula. As they approached, the Void forces emerged, a massive armada of twisted, dark ships. The battle began with a ferocity unmatched by any previous engagement. Nathan led the fleet from the bridge of the Odyssey, his commands precise and unwavering. The Alliance ships fought valiantly, but the Void forces were relentless. Amid the chaos, Nathan spotted a critical weakness in the enemy's formation. "Focus all fire on the central ship," he ordered. "We can break their line and force them into retreat." The Alliance fleet concentrated their fire, but the Void forces pushed back with a devastating counterattack. The Odyssey was hit, and alarms blared as the ship's systems began to fail. Nathan knew they were running out of time. Emily, fighting on the ground, received an urgent message from Nathan. "Emily, we're taking heavy fire. I need you to finish the mission. The Alliance depends on it." Tears filled her eyes, but she nodded, her voice steady. "I will, Nathan. Be safe." Nathan turned to his crew, determination etched on his face. "We're not giving up. Prepare for a final assault." As the Odyssey pushed forward, Nathan made a heart-wrenching decision. He ordered his crew to evacuate, staying behind to guide the ship into the heart of the Void's formation. The crew protested, but he remained firm. "This is our only chance," he said. "Go. That's an order." The crew reluctantly obeyed, escaping in shuttles as the Odyssey plunged into the Void's lines. Nathan guided the ship with precision, his eyes locked on the central ship. As the Odyssey collided with the enemy vessel, a massive explosion erupted, tearing through the Void's forces. The sacrifice of Captain Nathan Reynolds inspired the Alliance forces. With renewed determination, they pressed the attack, breaking through the Void's defenses. Emily, leading the ground forces, fought with a fierce resolve, her mind focused on honoring Nathan's memory. The Alliance fleet, now led by General Korak and other key leaders, pushed deeper into the Void's stronghold. The final battle was brutal, with losses on both sides, but the Alliance's unity and strategy began to turn the tide. Emily and her team reached the heart of the Void's fortress, where the Supreme Leader awaited. The entity, now weakened but still formidable, faced them with a cold, malevolent gaze. "You have fought bravely," the leader said, its voice dripping with contempt. "But you cannot defeat the darkness." Emily stepped forward, her voice unwavering. "We're not fighting alone. We're fighting for the future of our galaxy, for everyone who has fallen." The final confrontation was intense. The Supreme Leader unleashed waves of dark energy, but the Alliance forces stood their ground. Emily, wielding a Threxian plasma rifle, led the charge, her determination unyielding. As the battle reached its climax, Emily saw an opportunity. The leader's core, the source of its power, was exposed. She signaled to her team, and they concentrated their fire on the vulnerable spot. The leader writhed in pain, its form flickering. With a final devastating strike, Emily and her team shattered the core. The leader let out a scream of agony as it disintegrated into a cloud of dark energy. The remaining Void forces, now leaderless and disoriented, began to fall back. The Alliance forces secured the fortress, their victory hard-won. Emily stood amidst the ruins, her heart heavy with the losses they had endured. But she knew that Nathan's sacrifice and the bravery of countless others had led them to this moment. As the Alliance regrouped and tended to the wounded, General Korak addressed the troops. "Today we have achieved a great victory, but our work is not done. We must rebuild, united as one, to ensure that the darkness never returns." Emily looked to the stars, her mind filled with hope and determination. The war was over, but the journey to rebuild and create a lasting peace had just begun. With the Alliance stronger than ever, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead together. The victory against the Void marked a turning point in the history of the galaxy. With the threat neutralized and the enemy forces scattered, the focus shifted to rebuilding and forging a future where the mistakes of the past would not be repeated. The Alliance, now a symbol of hope and unity, began the process of reconstruction. The diverse civilizations, once wary of each other, now worked side by side, driven by a common goal. Emily Carter stood on the observation deck of the newly refitted Odyssey. The ship, now a flagship of the Alliance, had been transformed from a symbol of war to one of peace and exploration. The crew was preparing for a mission to explore and chart the uncharted regions of the galaxy, ensuring that the knowledge of their victory and the unity they had achieved would be shared far and wide. As she looked out at the stars, a familiar voice interrupted her thoughts. General Korak, now the head of the Galactic Council, approached. "Dr. Carter, it seems the universe has new challenges for us." Emily smiled. "It always does, General. But this time, we're ready." The Galactic Council, a governing body formed from representatives of each allied civilization, held its first session on the Threxian homeworld. The Grand Hall, filled with delegates, resonated with the promise of a new era. General Korak addressed the assembly. "We have emerged from the darkness stronger and more united. It is time to rebuild and to honor the sacrifices made. We must ensure that the fear of humanity, and indeed any race, is replaced by a mutual respect and understanding." Leora, the Alarian leader, stood next. "The Void showed us the worst of what we could face, but it also brought out the best in us, our empathy, our strength, our unity. These are the qualities that will guide us forward." The delegates discussed plans for the future, rebuilding devastated worlds, establishing interspecies educational programs, and creating a united defense force to prevent any future threats. Emily listened, her heart swelling with pride at the progress they had made. After the session, Emily visited a memorial built to honor those who had fallen in the war. Nathan's name was etched in stone, along with many others from different worlds. She placed a hand on his name, a silent promise to carry forward his legacy. A voice broke her reverie. "He would be proud of what we've accomplished," said Rena, the Valkyrie commander who had become a close friend. Emily nodded, tears in her eyes. He gave everything for this future. It's up to us to make sure it's a future worth having. The Odyssey's engines hummed to life, ready for its new mission. Emily and her crew, including new members from the Threxian, Ilarian, and Valkyrie races, prepared to embark on their journey. The ship would serve as a beacon of hope and discovery, a reminder of what they had overcome. As they left the dock, the crew gathered on the bridge. Nathan's chair, now a symbol of his sacrifice, remained at the center. Emily took her place beside it, ready to lead the next chapter of their story. "Set course for the unknown regions," she commanded. "Let's see what wonders await us." The Odyssey soared into the stars, leaving behind the scars of war and carrying with it the hopes of a galaxy united. The legacy of the ancient fear of humans had been transformed into a new dawn of cooperation and exploration. As the ship ventured into uncharted space, Emily felt a sense of excitement and anticipation. The future was uncertain, but with the Alliance by her side, she knew they could face whatever came their way. And so, the galaxy began a new chapter, one of peace, discovery, and unity, forever shaped by the trials they had endured and the victories they had achieved together.